Hey guys, welcome to the channel Life with Charlene. Today I want to talk about a cardiac stress test. It sounds scary and it just makes you get kind of stressed out hearing about it. Well, my doctor ordered one for me and I actually took the stress test on a treadmill. And so today I just want to let you guys know what it's all about and why your doctor may have ordered it for you. A cardiac stress test or exercise test is something that your doctor orders for you when they want to find out how well your heart works when it's working hard. When you're sitting, your heart doesn't need to pump as fast. But when you walk or run, it's a whole different story. And you know, I thought I was physically fit in a certain aspect for my age. But the doctors, you know, they use this test to see how your heart responds to stress or physical activity. And sometimes if you're starting a new exercise program, your doctor may order this for you. My doctor ordered my stress test because I was having pain in my jaw, headaches. I don't know, I just felt, you know, something was not right. And I do have a history in my family of heart attacks and clogged arteries. And I had a sister who passed away at the age of 39 from a massive heart attack. So I'm in a category where you definitely have to have your heart checked on and to make sure it's working properly. And now the stress test, it can diagnose things like blocked arteries, irregular heart rhythms, or whether you're getting enough oxygen during exertion. Because that's the key. You want to make sure your heart can, you know, carry you through whatever it is you're doing. So when I first got there, you know, they asked me a bunch of questions and told me what they were going to do. They hooked electrodes to my chest. And they put a blood pressure cuff on my arm that was going to stay on me the entire time I was on the treadmill. The electrocardiogram or EKG tracks my heart's electrical activity, what's going on as I step up on this treadmill, and they keep it at an incline. The treadmill is not you getting on a treadmill, running, doing all of that. When you get on the treadmill, they're going to have it where it's going up, and at every stage, I think 3 minutes, they go up again. So in my particular case, they wanted to get my heart rate between 136 to 156 beats, and this would be the maximum to see how my heart works under activities. And so it only took 6 minutes and probably 1 second for my heart to get to that rate for them to check for whatever they need to check for. And my blood pressure was going up so high. I think it was 224 over 111 at one point. And so she said, well, you made it to over 89% of the test. So we can stop because your blood pressure is getting a little high. And I was like, oh, come on, let me do 100%. And they were like, no, we're going to go ahead and get you off now. You made it past the six minute mark. So when you do a treadmill test, it's not like you're going to get on there and start running for 15 minutes or so. No, they monitor you. And to make sure you don't get lightheaded or a headache, because that's what she kept asking me. Are you getting a headache? I'm like, no. And and the blood pressure, I think, is what really kind of scared her when she saw it went so high. But I've been having high blood pressure lately. And as a matter of fact, my doctor changed my prescription medication and doubled it up because my blood pressure is just not at a normal rate. And you know, there was a time I thought the normal rate was 140 over 80, but now they've lowered it to 120 over 80. I don't know when that happened, but I've never had a low blood pressure. not since my 40s. Now, before 40, yeah, I had lower blood pressure, but now I think because I'm heavier, I probably, if I lost weight, my blood pressure would go down. So I'm going to be working on that, trying to eat healthier and, be more active so I can lose that extra weight that may be causing my blood pressure to rise. Anyway, as you're on that treadmill, there were two people in there with me, and they were just making sure my heart rate was increasing normally, which it was, and my blood pressure doesn't rise too much, which it did. But and they're there to catch irregular rhythms, or because a lot of times when you have irregular heart rhythms, that's telling you that you have maybe a poor blood flow, that something may be blocking the flow of blood to your heart. And so when you're on the test, they want to make sure that you don't feel any chest pain, shortness of breath, lightheadedness, dizziness. And so they're right there, and you can tell them right away, and they'll stop the machine immediately. They stop the test, it's done, And this is not no pain, no gain situation where, they trying to get you to push yourself as hard as you can, because safety is always first. I was at the hospital where this was done at. And so once you're done with the treadmill, they sit you down, take all electrodes off of your chest, and get your blood pressure to lower down, and see, within a few minutes your heart rate should lower back down in a normal rhythm, which mine did. My heart rate lowered quicker than my blood pressure, because that's what it was taking so long to get my blood pressure down. So now I'm waiting to hear from the test whether I, had a good reading, or a normal heart function, or a irregular heart function. And that'll be great news to hear that my heart functions normally. But if there's any signs of reduced blood flow, or any irregular beats, I will have to be retested, or some form of treatment may be done. A lot of times these stress tests are done because you have pain or shortness of breath when you do activities, or you've been experiencing some signs of maybe discomfort in your chest, or like the left arm pain, numbness in your arm, pain in your jaw, especially for women. High blood pressure is definitely something that needs to be looked at to see, why. And that's another concern of mine. Why is my blood pressure running so high, So, and they'll be checking me for diabetes and high cholesterol, which I don't have anymore because I'm on a statin for that. And, whenever you start a exercise program, your doctor wants to check you to make sure you are heart healthy before you start any exercise routine. And that's a lot of times when they say before you start exercising, check with your doctor. And that's because they want to make sure your heart is ready to go for any, activity outside of what you normally do. When you go for your appointment, wear comfortable clothing, like a jogging suit, and comfortable shoes. Very comfortable shoes, because you will be walking on this treadmill and you want to be comfortable. And I wore my leggings, my Fitville shoes, and a baggy shirt, because I knew they were going to be lifting up, putting the electrodes on me. So you don't eat or drink before you go to your appointment. At least 4 hours before your appointment, you don't eat or drink. You don't take any beta blockers 24 hours before your appointment, like your blood pressure pills or anything, because they want to get an accurate normal reading of what happens if you're not taking any medication or anything. So when you take the test, just be relaxed. There's nothing gonna happen to you like getting a needle injection or anything like that if you can physically do the treadmill. Now, some people may have to have something else done if they're unable to walk on a treadmill. But if you're able to walk on a treadmill, you'll be fine. And just take your time and enjoy it. They put a little screen up where you can watch whatever you want to watch while you're on the treadmill. And for some reason, I thought I was going to be on there for like 15 minutes and running. And no, it's not like that. So it's pretty easy. It's simple. And you just have to wait until after the procedure is done to get your results and find out what's going on. And hopefully you'll get the results that you want to hear, that everything is fine and everything that happened was normal for your age. So just remember, you have to take care of your heart because it's the only one that you have. So you guys take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Love you. Mwah.